Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. I, 18 female, lived with my grandparents when I was younger, and before he passed away, my grandfather set up a savings account, which he said was solely for my university education. My grandparents were not well educated, but they have always admired educated folks, and had always said it was their dream to see all their children through college. My mom and uncle were not interested in a college education and went for other options. However, when my grandfather saw how much I love learning and my interest in science, I hope to be a neurosurgeon someday. Grandfather vowed that he would sponsor my education and give me a smooth ride through school. He set up a savings account solely for my college education and funded it every month for years. This was not freely given, as I had to maintain stellar academic performance to prove that I am keen on getting a college education. I got a scholarship that only covered my tuition for the first and second years, and my parents are aware of it. Now the matter at hand is that I discovered the money in the account is less than $10,000, instead of the $50,000 that was kept for me. I was shocked and disappointed when I learned this. My parents are the only ones who have access to it other than me, and they spent the bulk of it recently. I approached my parents asking why they tampered with my money. At first, they lied that they were not aware of anything, claiming that Grandpa didn't put in that much, but I pointed out that I was privy to the total amount in that account. They were not being honest, and I demanded to hear the truth. Turns out, they used the money to get a new car for my younger sister, to surprise her on her birthday, which is a few weeks away. They claimed they wanted to give her a proper sweet 16 birthday because she needed one. I was furious. I couldn't contain my anger and tears. My parents chose to jeopardize my education to please my sister. They never made any plan to assist me financially, and whenever I complained, they made it obvious that there was no need since my grandpa made provisions for me. I cried, asking why they felt it was okay to use my money without my permission. They claimed they thought I would not need it any longer since I got a scholarship. I had already made it known that the scholarship was just for 2 years and covered only tuition. I explained this from the onset. I did not envisage using student loans for my college education because I was assured of the financial provision my grandpa provided. Yet I made efforts to get a scholarship. They keep insisting they did nothing wrong, so I am suing them for the money they stole from me. My entire family is mad at me. They say I'm wrong to have exposed our family issues to the public and that I should show some care for my sister's feelings because I spoiled her birthday plans. My sister is their favorite child, the golden one that can do no wrong, and they have always chosen her over me. They did not mind jeopardizing my future to give her a brand new car, but they expect me to care for her feelings. And they're accusing me of deliberately exposing them to embarrassment because a few people heard our squabbles. I am quite stressed out as I do not know my next step, but I am determined to get back my college fund. I put in a lot of hard work and missed out on a lot of fun activities my mates indulged in so I can maintain the desired CGPA, and I can't watch my efforts go down the drain. My parents half-heartedly promised to assist financially, but I do not trust them to keep to this promise since they have shown that they cannot be trusted. My grandma thinks I should forgive them, while my mother has been accusing me of being inconsiderate and selfish for requesting that my money be refunded immediately. She even threatened to disown me if I go ahead with the lawsuit, claiming that I am an ungrateful child. Am I being an a-hole for requesting what is rightfully mine? Update. After so many back and forth, my father settled on cancelling the order at the dealership and getting a refund. I told them that I won't drop the lawsuit until I get the full sum that was removed from my account. I also made sure their access to the savings account is removed. My sister has been sending hateful texts to me accusing me of being jealous because I wasn't given a car on my birthday. She threw fits when my dad decided to return the car. Now she's sulking about it, and my mother keeps blaming me for her childishness. They're giving me the cold shoulder, but I don't mind. We never had a strong relationship in the first place. What matters to me is my college fund, and I feel better knowing I'm getting it back. You're not the a-hole, OP. The The rest of your family members except your grandparents are a-holes. Your mom, sister and father are bigger a-holes. The money is yours. They had no right to use it for anything, especially not to buy a car for your 16-year-old sister. Their actions make it so obvious that you aren't their favorite, your sister is. The rest of the family members should call them out for that because no good parents should make any child feel less by having favorites. You did the right thing by threatening to sue. You need the money, it was yours, not theirs. About your sister's hateful comments, I hope she learns to be a better person as she grows older. If not, then she can just blame your parents. Good luck with your studies, OP. Story 2. I am 26 male, my sister is 28 female. We're the only family we both have. Neither of our parents are with us anymore, and we have no aunts, uncles, or cousins. I'm single, so is my sister. She's a single mother of a 3-year-old. Despite all of this, we're not particularly close. We live in the same city, but I might see her once a year. To make a long and convoluted post short, last week she came to my house and offloaded her son to me. She said she had to go to the hospital for mental health, and I was the only person who could help. I couldn't even protest. She didn't even come inside. She took him in the car seat, put him on my couch, rang the bell, and told me all of this as she's walking back to her car. She left no diapers, no supplies, no nothing, not even a word of when she'll be back. It took me less than 4 hours to contact police and have child services involved. He was basically abandoned with me, or at least that was my thought. They took the child away and my sister was still in the hospital. I have no way of contacting her, nor has she tried to contact me. I can't imagine the hellstorm that's going to be unleashed when she's out. I'm just not equipped to handle a kid. My home isn't childproof. I have no friends who could babysit for a stranger, even as a favor. I work full-time, I'm in school. I couldn't think of any alternative besides getting child services involved. I feel like I let my sister down, but first and foremost, I believe she let her own child down. I don't know what's going to happen. Was I the a-hole? Edit. Just so there's more information, she didn't even leave the base the car seat latches into. Never mind, I don't even have a car. I'll admit, I could have asked a friend for help picking up children's stuff, but that doesn't address anything else. Child services is what its name implies. Here where I live, it's called FACS. They work with families in struggling times like this. I told them my sister's name, the hospital she's at, and they presumably are working with her to sort this out. They left contact information, but they won't disclose any status to me because I'm not the parent. Even just the status of my sister, they weren't at liberty to say. I didn't put the kid up for adoption. It doesn't work like that. I contacted this agency who is trained to help in situations like this, where living arrangements are difficult or impossible for a child. My best guess is that they have him in a foster home for now until my sister's out. I don't know anything else beyond my best guess. And I just can't take time off work or school to care for a child 24/7 when agencies like the one I contacted can offload the work for me. It's been 8 days and no word on anything. If I took 8 days off of work with no telling when I could return, I might as well not return. You're not the a-hole, OP. Just because your sister was having a mental breakdown doesn't mean she can abandon her kid with someone she barely talks to and has never cared for children. It was wrong of her to assume you would put your whole life on hold just to care for her kid when y'all barely even have a relationship. I feel really bad for the kid, but calling CPS was probably the best thing you could do for him. Hopefully, they'll make sure she's mentally fit before giving her back custody. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole, you did the right thing. CPS works hard not to separate children from their parents, so long as the parents work hard to give them a healthy life. Your actions allow them to be aware of the situation, and they will be able to do home checks when your sister was released from her mental health facility so that they can be sure that the child does not suffer as a result of her mental health issues. Had you not acted and simply babysat for a mentally ill sister, you would be ignoring the dangers to the child's welfare. It was a tough decision, but you chose right. Not the a-hole, absolutely not. You acted like a responsible adult and handled the situation in the best way you could. Regardless if you had a close relationship with your sister or not, She can't assume that because she's actively taking care of her mental health. Good for her. She can just arrive unannounced in your house and leave her kid with you, just like that. It would be a different story if you two had the chance to talk things through and you accepted the responsibility and then decided to call CPS. Story 3. So, the main players here, me 28 female, my fiancé 31 male, my parents, my brother 25 male, and my fiancé's mom. Fiancé is an only child. His dad passed away in November 2018. My fiancé and I have been working together for 3 years. We're getting married this spring. We're keeping it small because we have been saving hard to buy a home. We live in Toronto where real estate is really expensive. Right now we have enough saved for 20% down on anything 700k-ish. We happened to see a listing for something outside of our price range. Our dream building. It's a triplex, 3 2-bedroom apartments. We could live in one and rent out the others. We've always planned to own a rental property as a source of income for retirement. Problem is, it's 950k, and because it's commercially zoned, we need a full 20% down payment. We approached my parents and saw if they could help us make up the difference on the down payment. They can comfortably afford this. They're wealthy. My dad makes over $1 million a year. In 2018, my parents bought a townhouse in cash, $500k, and gave it to my brother as a belated graduation present. We're asking for $50k, and if they're not comfortable giving it as a gift, we would be happy with a loan. They said no. They said it's different because fiancé and I have each other, and my brother is on his own, so he needs their help more. But who wouldn't be better off with a free house? Fiancé and I will be fine without the money. We will go back to our original plans and not be landlords just yet. But I'm hurt. My maternal grandparents helped my parents out with their first house. But according to my mom, that was different because of how high interest rates were back then. And they're not paying it forward even though they have the means to. I was a difficult kid, never the daughter my parents wanted me to be. I always had to do things my way and follow my path. This strained my relationship with my parents, but I thought things were getting better in the last few years, now that they can see that I turned out alright. It's not like I'm an F-up. I have a master's degree, a good job, a great partner, etc. It's Thanksgiving this weekend in Canada, and I will be spending it with fiancé and his mom. This is their first Thanksgiving without their dad. He wants to be with his mom, and I want to be with him. This is the first time I've ever missed a holiday with my family. We offered to come by after dinner with dessert, but they want me there for the whole thing. They don't see why we can't split up for the holiday. I don't want to spend all the holidays with them when fiancé and his mom are my family now too. My parents have been blowing up my phone and guilt-tripping me for over a week. My mom says she needs help in the kitchen, she can't make dinner alone, and it won't be the same without me. I feel awful because I do want to see my family on Thanksgiving, but 1, I offered a compromise and they said no. 2, I don't want to be alone with my family while I'm still hurt. I know that I'm not entitled to their money, but it's my prerogative to decide who I want to spend my holidays with. Am I the a-hole for skipping Thanksgiving with my parents? OP, no, you are not the a-hole for not wanting to be a party of it anymore. But my suggestion would be to recognize that you're better off without anything from them going forward and accept that you shouldn't speak to them about anything financially related or ask them for money anymore. Move on from the resentment and money aspect of your relationship with them and then decide what kind of relationship you want with them or not. Now for some comments. After reading the bit about your brother and father-in-law, I think you're justified in taking a holiday away from your parents to support your fiancé and tend to your hurt feelings. Of course, they're not obligated to give you anything, but what a weak excuse as to why they decided not to, especially when they did it for your brother. Not the a-hole. I would feel the same way. Just do things how you want and your family will eventually accept it. I decided long ago I didn't want to go to 2 houses on Thanksgiving and again on Christmas. It was ridiculous and exhausting. So one year I announced that I and my husband was going to my family's on Thanksgiving and his family on Christmas. It is so much more peaceful and enjoyable this way. I hope you have a good time at your fiancé's family house. Your mom seems petty and grudge-holding.